Hello, beautiful people. Today we're going to introduce the iTorus 9. This is our largest iTorus out of the 4 sizes. You're going to get your travel case. This weighs about 25 pounds. Going through the airport with this, best to check it in. Depending on what airport you're at, they may want you to keep it under checked in because it's a large device. They may not know exactly what it is. I always tell them it's a medical device. Check the website. pyramids.com, show them the card. Okay, travel case, indestructible. Voila. So first of all, you're gonna see the iTorus 9 inside. Then you're gonna see a magnet on top. So the iTorus 9 comes with a 1-inch magnet. So this magnet is a neodymium 52N. Very strong magnet. It's going to stick to just about everything. So handle it with care. Don't squeeze your fingers on anything. iTorus 9 5.0. You're going to have some LED cables that connect to the fiber optics. So the 4.0, the iTorus 9 4.0, you're gonna see an amplifier and the power supply. This is a 24-volt power supply. This is a 100-watt iTorus amplifier with Bluetooth capability. 2 channels, power supply plug-in, audio input if you're hardwiring with an auxiliary 3.5mm cable, which is included in your kit. Instruction manual, 10-foot audio extension cable for your iTorus. So this part plugs into the amplifier, this part screws into the iTorus 9. All right, so we got a 5.0 and we got a 4.0. So a lot of people ask me, what's the difference between a 5.0 and a 4.0? Okay, so we came out with the 4.0 first. The only difference between these two is there's a fiber optic cable that wraps around the entire groove of this iTorus 9. It ends right here. So you have the ability to plug a light in. So that's what comes with the iTorus 5.0. Is an RGB light. It is connected to a 10-foot LED extension cable that has an RGB power box here and an IR sensor. So the IR sensor is controlled by a IR remote control. And then you have a power connection here. So you're gonna have a power supply cable. Make sure it's always on 12 volts. We preset these and test them out before we send it out, but this is a 12-volt power supply. There you have it. That's everything that's included in the iTorus 9 or the iTorus 9 5.0. Now let's talk about the capabilities of the iTorus 9. All right, so we're looking at the back here. Over here you have DC in, that's where your power supply plugs into. Okay, so for these cables here, these extension cables, you have 2 pairs, positive and negative with each pair. So the red's positive, black's negative. One of the pairs has a white turtleneck or a white shrink tube over it. That indicates that these 2 are a pair. So you're going to keep those together, and then the other ones are going to go on the other side. Now it doesn't matter which side goes where, just keep the pairs together. So red and black, red and black. All right, so now your audio is plugged in. Now for your amplifier, if you're going to go hardwired, you plug into the input on the back, right into your aux port. And this is your on, off button and your volume button. So you turn the on button and then you turn the volume all the way up. So we can test that with a full volume. One thing to know, because this has a Bluetooth capability, if you're going to connect it to your Bluetooth, initially, the very first time, it's going to ask you for a password. The Bluetooth name is Bluetooth Audio in your settings, and the password is 0000, 4 zeros. Okay, so we're connecting to an audio device. That audio device has the iTorus app. Comes free. The first 4 albums are free. The rest of the albums, there's a subscription area. You can tap into earth-based PEMF, a lot of pain and swelling in this album. You can tap into 432 in the chakra album. So in this album here, 20 hertz, circulation, pain and swelling. That's a good test frequency. So we're going to play with that one first. All right, we hear it coming through the iPad. I'm going to plug the audio cable in. Now the sound is going into the amplifier. That amplifier is amplifying by 100 watts, and that's sending it into the iTorus. So right now we have this iTorus plugged in. Okay, so red light means it's on. You get power. That's an indicator that we have power going to the amplifier. Troubleshooting. If you don't feel the magnetic field when you're playing 20 hertz, if there is a Bluetooth grabbing this signal somewhere, my phone, my iPad, my computer, somebody else's phone, might be grabbing the Bluetooth signal. So we gotta make sure those Bluetooths are off if we're gonna go hardwired into the system. All right, so let's turn the Bluetooth off. And also let's make sure the volume's up all the way. All right, now let's check the other Bluetooth devices and make sure those are off as well. I think I figured out why it wasn't coming on. Okay, so there was another Bluetooth device. There was another phone over here, Bluetooth on, that had already captured this amplifier, so it was picking up. Okay, so 20 hertz, that's what that looks like. That's what that feels like in the magnet. This is a good test frequency. Anytime you don't know if it's working, you're playing a frequency, check it with 20 hertz. 20.8 hertz pain and swelling frequency in the earth-based PEMF album. Okay, some of the frequencies, like the right frequencies, they go up to 10,000 or higher, and it's not going to feel the same in the magnet. It's going to be very, very faint. High frequency, you won't even feel it. Some of the frequencies are so high, you won't feel the magnet response. Okay, so go back and test it with 20 hertz. All right. Now let's turn this one off and turn the Bluetooth off. So once I turn the Bluetooth off here, now I hear a click in the amplifier. That means that this one, the Bluetooth, just turned off. Now we can play from the iPad. All right. So now the iPad's playing, hardwired into the back of the amp, and we have connection. All right. So we just went over how to install your iTorus 9 amplifier, cables, how to use the Bluetooth, how to use the hardwire, and how to test it with the proper frequencies. Now, let's go over some capabilities. The iTorus 9, we can measure the field, the edge of the toroidal bubble, out to 55 feet in diameter in every direction from the center of the torus. Now let me show you what that looks like on a trifield meter. Okay, so we got 20 hertz playing right now. So every frequency is going to have a different intensity. I'm going to measure the field differently with this. It's actually going to make a different shape with different frequencies and different intensities as well. So 20 hertz is a lower frequency, and it's not going to be as wide of a diameter as 432, for example. But let's just see what 20 hertz does. So we're at 2. I'm at 1.7 milligauss, and this is about 8 feet away. Now it's going to max out right here So 20 hertz is maxed out on the meter, and we're about 18 inches away. So what is 20 hertz good for, by the way? 20 hertz is good for pain and swelling, increased circulation. NASA's done most of these studies. Now you can go and check out the book PEMF, The Fifth Element of Health, and it dives into these studies and what hertz benefits which system in the body. What NASA discovered, 2 hertz, really good for the nerves. 7 hertz, good for the bone. 10 hertz, good for ligaments. And 20 hertz, good for soft tissue, pain and swelling, increased circulation. Now, those are all in the Earth-based PEMF app. Now let's go to the chakra app. 432 hertz is a crown chakra. It's a much faster hertz, 432 cycles per second. It creates a much larger field in diameter. So chakra balance, activate 432, crown chakra. Make sure our volume's up all the way over here. Now this is buzzing, it's humming. You can almost hear it. Let me put this up to the microphone. That's a fast buzz. Okay, now let's test the field out with the tri-field meter on weighted magnetic. All right, right here, we're maxed out. So that's about 3 to 4 feet. That's about 4 feet from the center of the torus. So earlier, 20 hertz, we were at 18 inches and we're maxed out on this tri-field meter. We're maxed out at 4 feet. So the closer I get, the more intense it's going to be, the magnetic field. But the meter's maxed out at 100 milligauss. So this particular instrument, I can't measure over 100 milligauss. Now, the difference between the iTorus 9 4.0 and the 5.0, same exact magnetic fields. Same wiring, same bundle of wire over here. It's going to produce the same exact benefits from the magnetic fields. Now, this one happens to have a optic wrapping around it. So I'll show you what the optics looks like and we'll hook that up. Another function of the iTorus 9, since the field is so big, out to 55 feet in diameter, that equates to 2,300 square feet in coverage area. So that's why we call it the whole house harmonizer, because you could put this in the sweet spot of your house, somewhere where you spend most of your time. You can put it near your bed, over your bed. Say it's in a capstone in a pyramid. You can put it under your bed. You can put it on your nightstand. And it's going to cover your entire bedroom while you sleep. So if you have meters on the outside of your wall, or if you have 5G towers on the corner of your building, this field is going to mitigate that. And we can see that with our demonstration that what we do with the electromagnetic microphone. And we put the microphone next to a computer or Wi-Fi, and we see all the static electricity, the staticky field looking thing. It's a chaotic field. And then when we introduce the iTorus, it starts to cohere the field. It organizes the field. The electromagnetic coherent field of the torus turns that chaos into coherence. All right, so that's one application, is EMF pollution mitigation. Now, another one is targeted therapy. You could put this right on the body. So if you want to do pain and swelling, you can put it right over the area of concern. Sweet spots in the middle. And you can use it that way. Pick your desired frequency on the app and place it on the area of concern on the body. Now the iTorus 5 is a little bit more conducive for targeted therapy on the body because it's lighter, it's not as heavy, not as bulky. It'll tend to stay on the body a lot easier. To each their own. Some people like the heaviness of the iTorus 9. Some people like the lightness of the iTorus 5. I think that covers everything that I wanted to talk about with the iTorus 9. So now let's take a look at the iTorus 9 5.0 and what it means to have an upgraded fiber optic cable system. Okay, so once you plug in your LED power box into the wall, then you're going to connect it to your RGB box, and then you're going to connect your 10-foot extension cable, and on the end of that it's going to be your RGB light. So you're just going to take your RGB light, it's your male in, and you're going to screw it. You're going to fit these 4 teeth right over the top of the fiber optic cable, and then you're going to screw it in. You are all set to start programming your ambiance. So this is currently set on fade, but we can change the different colors. You want to point it towards the RGB IR sensor. So that RGB box has an IR sensor, so you just aim right towards it, and you can scroll right through all the different colors. My favorite setting is the fade, and it's down here on the right hand side, second one up. Always make sure you're pointing the IR sensor remote towards the IR sensor. What's the benefits of the lights? All right, it's going to change the mood in your room. It's going to be like a little night light. You change the ambiance in your room. You can use all the different color systems. So that's a really sweet upgrade. That's it. It's the exact same magnetic field, but it has the ambiance fiber optic lights. All right. I'm Jason Stiles, the founder of iPyramids.com. Thank you for listening to this tutorial about the iTorus 9. Stay tuned for more educational videos about the iPyramids products.